available in high definition. Motoring 2009 on TSN is brought to you by the new Q horsepower from Quaker State. Unleash all your horses. And Michelin, a better way forward.
It was sometime last year when Hyundai invited automotive journalists into the desert to meet the Genesis, a car that was going to take them where they have never been before into the luxury segment. And they even put it up against such labels as BMW. Many people thought that Hyundai was gambling to think they could play with this crowd, but listen to this.
I think the car is a deal changer. I think it's amazing. If I'd closed my eyes, I could have been in a BMW 550, and that's an amazing compliment.
That was automotive journalist David Booth, who, like many of us, does have the odd cynical bone in his body, but he was sold on the Genesis, and he wasn't alone. The car went on to win North American Car of the Year, and it also won our category in the Car of the Year show here on Motoring. Well, Hyundai is now stepping up to the table again, and once again is going to roll the dice. And where better than here in Sin City, Las Vegas. But this time I'm thinking that Hyundai is feeling pretty confident about the hand it's holding, and it's betting that success does indeed breed success, because we're here to check out the 2010 Hyundai Genesis, not the sedan, but the coupe.
Well, while the economy is hurting this year, Hyundai, on the other hand, we're having an awesome year. We're, for the first quarter of 2009, our sales are actually up 25% over last year. We've gained considerable market share, and it seems as though consumers are recognizing that Hyundai is a smart choice in this economy. This coupe has always been on the drawing board. The Tiburon has come to the end of its life cycle, and it was time for us to bring a new sports car to market. And we thought it's time to share the same platform as a Genesis sedan in terms of the rear-wheel drive architecture and bring a true performance sports car to market, but one that has a very accessible pricing.
I was sort of surprised with what they've come up with. I was expecting more along the lines of the Tiburon in a slightly larger package. This car is a completely different animal. First of all, it's rear-wheel drive, which is what a sporty car should be and traditionally is. And secondly, it's a nice, roomy package inside, lots of room, lots of comfort.
I actually expected something a little more luxurious to keep up with the Genesis sedan. But having driven this one, I'm certainly not disappointed, because I've driven the base version, the plain Jane stripper, and it's got enough equipment on it, everybody should be happy with it.
Powertrains in the Genesis really make it appeal to a broad range of buyers. The 2-liter turbo is the base powertrain. It's intercooled, develops about 210 horsepower, and it's a really nice powertrain. It's a good balance of performance and economy. And the V6 is a very exciting powertrain. Although it's the same displacement as the engine in the Genesis sedan, it's a completely different V6, cranking out 306 horsepower. We've added a lot of components that you would add to a race engine to give it power and durability.
The styling is a knockout, I find. The styling of this car is exceptional.
You know, along with intuitive, architecture is a word we're hearing more and more often in the car world. In fact, in this morning's technical meeting concerning this Genesis Coupe, we were told that the rear-wheel drive system is an advantage to the car's architecture.
Rear-wheel drive architecture, putting power to the rear wheels for a performance sedan, really differentiates itself from a front-wheel drive car. When you step on the throttle, as you transfer weight to the back, that's where the power is, that's where the traction needs to be. So the weight transfer, when you hit the throttle, you put the power to where the torque is. In cornering here at the track today, you can power out of curves, you can sometimes steer with the throttle. Those are aspects of driving you can't do with a front-wheel drive car. For a lot of enthusiasts like myself, this is the kind of car that puts a smile on your face. You can hit the corners hard. With the Brembo brakes, it stops really well, so you can go in and find your turning point aggressively. With the right amount of throttle, the car stays really balanced through the corners.
Not a big fan of the stick shift. It's okay, it's not exceptional. I think it needs a little more work. The gold standard in shifting is BMW, and this car is not at that level, but not horrid. The clutch take-up and whatnot is good on it, but the shifter mechanism itself is a little clunky. Would like to see a little improvement there. And one minor little quibble, the grab handle is missing on the passenger side. I'm a grab handle fan, especially if somebody crazy is driving.
So if you get the right angle set and the proper amount of throttle, you can just keep the car going around.
I don't think they'll put a V8 in this because it's too nice a package with both the 6 and the 4, and I can't see them wanting to move the price point too high. So I think if they do anything, they may do things like up the power of the 6, and I'm sure their development program has more horsepower in store for this motor over the next couple of years.
For $24,495, there's not too much on the market that's a true sports car that can go toe-to-toe with it.
Speaking of automobiles, the boys are getting a few final laps behind the wheel of this new Hyundai Genesis Coupe, and everybody is wearing a smile, and why not? I mean, there's very little you can find wrong with this new Coupe. And believe me, this is not just a two-door version of the four-door Genesis. This car has its own unique personality. And check out these pictures. Even the tuners are beginning to add a little edge to this car. As far as the powertrains go, the four-cylinder, more than adequate, but if it's my money, I'm going with the V6. Lots and lots of power. The design, I gotta love it, although you do see a little Tiburon in the side view. But believe me, this is not another Tiburon. They have certainly raised the bar with this vehicle. And another thing, I love the colors. What this world does not need is another silver car. Anyway, Graham, of course, will have a closer look on a future test drive. And before we go,
Hello there and welcome to NASCAR Now. I'm Nicole Mansky. With me all morning is NASCAR Now analyst and a former Sprint Cup Series racer, Ricky Craven. From a driver's perspective, how different is it to show up at Daytona in July compared to Daytona in February?
It's really quite different. Drivers are going to be focused on handling. Crew chiefs are going to be listening